the living geeks.
Welcome back, everybody, to the LHG cast. We got a different group with us today, different little bit of setup, but I think it's going to be a fun activity. To my right, as always, is Connor.
My friend.
How are you?
The good doctor. I'm doing well, dude. I'm excited to kick off today's, fun.
Yeah. I like the sweater. Collared shirt, looking snazzy.
Thanks. I'm going for the teacher look today.
Looking nice. To his right, Nick. How are you doing, sir?
Yo. He's morose as usual.
And over on the end there, to keep in the theme of Star Wars, we have Grand Moff Tarkin. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, it is a huge pleasure to have been brought back from the grave.
Our good man Casey joining us again.
Long-time listeners will remember.
Indeed.
Always a pleasure.
Yes, thanks for joining us, buddy.
And today we're doing something a little different. We're not quite ready to do Game of the Year talk, but Connor had a really good idea, so I'm going to let him talk about it, and then we're going to just jump right in.
Sure, let's do it. Okay, so last episode, the PSX breakdown, we've pretty much covered exhaustively like most of the stuff that's going on in gaming as far as like the sector that we cover. So kind of like bare for news this week. So we figured we'd do a little fun activity. So we are going to have a competitive battle here, drafting the most popular games on PS1. And so there's some caveats to this because it's hard to quantify, obviously. So we will be deciding the most popular games based on how many ratings they have on the PSN store. And of course, that means we're limited to things that are on the PSN store. So with those caveats, it should be a good battle. But either way, we're gonna all pick 7. We're gonna add up the ratings for each one, which ones are the most popular, and whoever wins gets the glory over all the others for the rest of time.
Yes. Perfect.
Maybe can inflict some kind of violence on the other people or something. I don't know.
We'll
to
settle it.
Spice it up.
We'll settle it.
By the way, I have Cloud. So we can play
nice.
Smash.
Oh, nice,
Perfect.
dude.
We'll have to check that out later.
Yeah, I still haven't
That
gotten into
already
that.
came out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, like I said, the Cloud Strife press tour, the Final Fantasy VII
It continues.
press tour continues. And he popped up in WoW, too. There's like these characters in Dalaran where one of them is like basically dressed up like Cloud.
Wow.
And like there's Eris, like the flower girl next to him. And they have different names, but it's obvious.
Yeah, sure.
So it's everywhere. The Cloud Strife press tour presses on.
It continues.
Anyways, so let's get to the PS1 Popularity Draft.
Okay, so we're picking numbers out of the hat, and then we're just going to go in that order.
Yeah.
For everyone wondering why there's a giant desiccated spider in the middle of the table.
Yeah, that is also doubles as a very trendy fashion accessory. So yeah, of
Gross.
course, being a video game podcast, the hat that we will be drawing our numbers from is Abathur from Heroes of the Storm. Has nothing to do with PS1 classics, but what's up,
Why
Abba?
not? We didn't have a
Still my boy.
hat that was appropriate for
Indeed.
PS1.
So I was suggesting we were going to do Greco-Roman wrestling to determine the draft order, or maybe like a foot race, or pistols at dawn, maybe.
Quick draw.
But we went with the numbers out of a hat because
Keeping it
whatever.
simple.
All right.
So
Let's start with our guest.
Okay,
Go
Casey,
around.
you go.
Wait a minute. I was going to say, how do we determine the order of who picks the numbers out of a hat to determine the draft order?
More numbers in a hat.
All right, we got to get another hat.
It begins.
Casey, choose wisely.
How about this? Why don't we all keep the numbers and then
This
we open them
feels right.
at the same
That's
time,
more
so we
than-
all.
Okay.
So there's a lot
I'm for
of
it.
mystery.
Okay.
I'll go next, since now the order doesn't matter.
I guess I'm last.
No peeking.
Yeah, it doesn't really
No
matter.
peeking.
Okay. Let's
right.
all just open them, I suppose.
Number one.
Show me
And I
potato
have
salad.
3.
Damn it.
And I think
You got
yours
4?
is 1.
I
This is
have
one?
a
Yeah.
2.
Oh, number one,
All right,
baby.
Connor's number 1.
Number one. Okay, well, let's get right into it then. We got our list here.
All right.
The most popular game on PS1 as according to the PlayStation Store.
Wait,
Of-
round
of-
one.
Of course, everyone thinks about what the number one overall pick would be like.
Yeah.
So it's hurting. I got 2 or 3 I'm hurting between because you have to consider what do the people think is
Yeah,
more
not
popular.
just
Not
us.
what's my
Right,
favorite. So,
right.
but I'm gonna go with one that satisfies both of those. Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, of course.
course.
Yeah,
It has to go
it had to
with
be
that.
number one. Yeah.
I think we all saw
So,
that coming.
yeah. I mean, there's a couple good other picks out there, but I mean, could you get any safer than that?
Yeah, no.
You know,
Okay, so who's number 2 again?
me.
Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna write the names in here real quick.
Not one of my favorites per se, but
And then I'm 3.
in
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you're ready. You're ready to pick?
yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
I think in league with the same idea of just what people pick, and being that it is a tried and true classic, however well it's aged, regardless, I'm gonna go with Tomb Raider.
Ooh, okay.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's one of those. It's got big name. You know, everyone knows Lara Croft. Everyone knows Tomb
Well,
Raider.
especially with the
Everyone
reboot, I
starts
bet you
out.
there's a lot of people like, let me go download the classic and see how it
Exactly.
all started, right?
Exactly, and yeah, like you said,
All
it might not
started
have
with
aged
very
well, but
clunky camera control.
and big polygonal memories.
Exactly.
Triangles.
So I'm
so-
going to go with a game I've never played, but based on recent releases and that sort of thing, I think this is probably up there. I'm going to go with Metal Gear Solid, the original.
I knew that was going in the first round. I knew for a fact. Nick, you want the tablet so you can?
No, I
peruse?
already know.
You already got
I
your
already know.
first pick. Okay. If anyone wants the tablet so they can, actually, I'm gonna look at it. Okay. Okay. So we got FF7, Tomb Raider, MGS.
So
and Nicholas.
I know a lot of people love this game, and it just came out on PSN a couple months ago. I'm going to go with Mega Man Legends.
Mega Man Legends, really?
Nice.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I mean that
A
scores,
dark horse for the first round. I
Yeah,
see.
for sure.
Okay.
I mean, that's like scores extremely highly on my favorite games category, but as far as the ratings category on the PS Store, you're taking a risk. I like it.
All right.
You know, when you get the 4th pick, you got to reach for value. You know, you gotta. Okay, so round 1, FF7, Tomb Raider, MGS, Mega Man Legends. Love it. Okay,
right.
so round 2, I hadn't even considered this one, but thumbing through the list right now, it just is jumping out like a sore thumb, and I gotta pick it. So, actually, you know what? Let me check one thing first. Oh man, I gotta like flip a coin on this one. This is hard. Oh man, I'm gonna go Resident Evil 2.
Dang, I think that was going to be mine if you didn't pick it. Okay.
Oh man, I mean, I don't even need to explain that one.
Yeah.
No,
honestly,
no.
I think 2 has definitely been more popular than 1 if you go back to the classic. So I think that's a
Because
good pick.
You play as Leon.
Or
Leon's the
yeah,
man.
or Claire, and it's like I don't know. That's like Resident Evil 1 like set up like the I don't know the mystique of the game, and Resident Evil 2 like really knocked it home.
Sure.
Like so.
Good pick. Good pick.
Anywho,
I think I'm gonna bust out my dark horse this round.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's not necessarily one that I hear brought up all the time. Not that popular, but it's been a mainstay for some time, and I still see its surface every now and again. I'm gonna go with Legend of Mana.
Okay.
Legend of Mana. Okay.
Because that one's got time on its side because it's been around for so long. You know, like
Exactly.
people multi-generational. You know.
Yep.
By the way, who wants to peruse the list right
Okay,
now?
so I'm kind of pre-made a little list here. So
Ooh, I like the
So
preparation.
I
man.
can't believe this hasn't been picked yet, but I'm gonna go with Crash Bandicoot. I can't believe nobody picked that yet, but yeah, that'll be mine.
But there's so many, man.
The first one. I'm gonna go with the first one. I think that's the most popular. Well, maybe it's not. I could be totally wrong.
You know,
2 or 3.
I
could
already
just-
wrote it down, so you're locked in.
Yeah,
son.
no, I'm totally fine with that pick. But
I think Crash. Okay. On the fly here, we got to do a little rules on the fly. So if someone picks a game from a franchise, are you allowed to pick other games from that franchise?
totally.
Okay, for
I
sure.
think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
for sure. Because I could go like Crash 3 if I
Yeah,
think Crash is Crash 3 is
Well,
better.
that's why I think that's nice that we have 7 picks and not 5, like we were kind of discussing.
Yeah, we were saying
before.
5 or 10, but 5 is too few and 10 is too many. So.
Yeah. So I like that.
But yeah, I'm feeling confident.
All right, we're kind of getting down to some like who knows where these are going to land on the ratings. Like this is where it gets interesting. I think.
We'll start reaching.
Right.
But I have a sleeper pick for my 3rd round, and I'm so excited. To
Oh,
tell you
man.
guys. You're gonna be so mad that you didn't think of it.
I think I know
so-
what it is,
so-
but let's see let's see what Nick thinks.
Yeah, Nick, I gotta.
Oh, it's Casey. I'm sorry.
wait, no.
It was your
My
turn.
turn, my turn.
Yeah, it is your turn.
Okay. Oh my god, I lost it.
You better find it, dog.
I'm gonna go with the easy answer.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Final Fantasy 9.
9. Okay.
Oh, he's
hard to
leap-
go wrong with the Final Fantasy.
He's leapfrogging FF8. That's an interesting conversation of just which one is more popular. FF8 or
That's very
FF9.
true. That's a like you said, a coin flip for sure. All right.
I love
It
it.
was between it, but I know there's a lot more people that actively say they don't like 8 than they do 9.
That's true.
That's a good point. And because like now,
Fair
like
enough.
these ratings are based more on like the reception now rather than
Yeah.
the reception when they came out.
Totally.
So that's wise.
All
right,
so
well,
recap
yeah.
round 2.
Round 2, I got Resident Evil 2, loving it. We got Legend of Mana from Casey, timeless game by the way, so
I
good.
still need to play that. That's been on my list forever.
I just bought it.
Nice.
So I want to borrow it.
That was like one of the prototypes for like choose your own like your plot path kind of thing. You know,
Nice.
a bunch of different characters and. Anyways, then we got Crash Bandicoot from Taylor. I mean, rock solid pick, and we got Final Fantasy IX, another solid mainstay. Okay, so for round 3,
Okay.
I am delighted to
Let's
unleash
see it.
this gem on you guys.
Okay.
Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
That was gonna be mine.
Damn it.
Were we all thinking that?
I told you guys.
We were.
I told you sons of bitches that I was going to take the one you all wanted.
No.
So
Okay.
I feel very
Okay, well, I
comfortable right
have
now.
a backup that I think I'm pretty confident with. So
It's Casey's turn.
it is
so
Casey's turn.
I have a
So
backup
Casey's
as
got to
well,
go first.
So I'm hoping.
I almost rock bottomed you through this table. You
I actually
almost-
feel pretty good about this based off the amount of tokens it's generated out of my pockets throughout the years at every arcade.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Metal Slug X.
Ooh, okay.
Because that's one of those ones where everyone always played at the arcade, and then you see it on the PlayStation Store, and you're like, oh, I can play that on my couch?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's a
Good
good.
cooperative fun.
I like that one.
Mindless fun. Yeah, love it.
Indeed.
Metal Gear Slug.
All right, Metal
Slug.
Metal Gear Slug. Can you imagine that? It's like the main boss in one of the new Metal Gear games, just this giant arthropod.
Just kind of slithering around.
Or is that a gastropod? I don't know. Which genus or phylum is that? I don't know. Gotta get the biologist in here.
Exactly. I'm so mad you picked Castlevania. Okay.
I knew it. I knew that was going to be the pick everyone hated.
So we're talking about games that I think have aged well as time has gone on
Right, 'cause people have to
to
still be buying it.
compared to when it came out. I'm gonna go with Legend of Dragoon.
Okay, I like it.
I think that's a game that a lot of people wanted a sequel to, and it's never, like there was all the stuff with Dart and PlayStation All Stars and all that
That
stuff.
was such a weird choice for him to be in PlayStation All Stars. Just because
We
it's such
didn't
a
get him.
Well, that was the thing. They stopped doing DLC. He was going to be the next character, and people started talking about it, and they were like, "Yeah, there was a sequel in the works that never came out, or whatever." So,
well bollocks.
I know, right?
Nick,
All right.
your last pick?
I do have my last pick.
I got to brainstorm for my next one. I used all my creative juices on that Castlevania pick.
We know this game has aged well, perfectly,
okay. Oh, I think I know what he's going to pick.
and
goodness.
everyone wants this on their Vita.
Uh-huh.
And everyone, well, not everyone, but it's a good game on the Vita.
Yeah.
Lots of childhood memories.
Okay.
Back in the NES.
I think I know what you're about to pick. I might have something to say about it.
Mega Man X4.
Ooh, Mega Man X4.
Nice. You know what's funny? You said everyone wants that on their PS Vita. That's on my PS Vita.
Told you.
So Nick's going heavy in the Mega Man rotation. I dig it. I mean,
Mega Man X4. Okay.
you're coming to the right man if you want to talk some Mega Man. So, all right. So you want to recap the third
All right,
round here
so
while I
round 3. Connor coming in with the clutch Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
killing it.
Casey with Metal Slug X. Me with Legend of Dragoon, and Nick coming in with Mega Man X4.
I remember the
That
buzz.
was a sleeper pick. I kind of didn't remember that was on PlayStation.
I just remember it was a big buzz. It's like, oh my god, Mega Man X4 is
You
on
can
the-
play a 0, right?
No, just on the store now. Just came out.
Okay. I'm ready for just to kick off round 4, and I just have to say, you guys ready to continue being crushed?
I think I know what you're gonna pick, and I'm gonna be so mad.
I'll give you one guess.
Well, I'm gonna pick it if you don't, so I'm gonna hold off.
Okay. That's fair. Okay. Well, this is you'll know, but as I'm explaining it, but don't say it.
Okay.
This is one of the greatest RPGs on PS1 of all time. It's loved by generations and it has aged extremely well, which means that I think people are still buying it, and downloading it, and rating it to this day. Chrono Cross.
Fuck!
I am
Just waiting for it.
I am on fire. Getting the first pick, basically, just cemented me here. No, except
Well, that's the advantage of picking first,
I think if
right?
I had fourth pick, I would have just moved all my second round choices up to first, and then I would have been fine anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Now, keep in mind, we can pick other games in a series that
Right.
we haven't picked yet.
And there's other Resident Evils. There's other Final Fantasies. There's
Right.
still some juicy ones on the board
yeah,
here. If
for sure.
people are looking
other
for
Square Enix RPGs.
people are looking
yeah.
for numbers. Also, when we finish up these draft picks and score
Yeah.
who won, something we should definitely do when we're telling who won is we should name some other notables that had huge numbers of ratings that we didn't even pick.
Sure,
because I bet there's going to be some that just went totally over our heads, like cult classic games.
Yeah.
You know, like Cool Borders 2 or something.
Oh yeah, something weird. Yeah.
Borders.
Anyway, so round 4, pick number 4, Casey.
I've got a tough decision here because there's a game very near and dear to my heart that I would like to trust.
I can't
that
draft with your feelings, man.
Gotta go with
Fantasy basketball taught me that.
I think I'm going to have to go with one sequel out of 2 series. Can't quite decide, but I'm going to trust that people are still downloading and playing Twisted Metal 2.
Okay.
That is
I
a bit
think
of a
that's
timeless game, I have to say.
Okay.
And out of the Twisted Metal series, besides Twisted Metal Black, which is PS2 and that's exempt, it has to be the best one in the series, right?
Yeah, that's what I would have picked if it were on there.
Oh, dude, nothing like Sweet Tooth.
It was 2 and then Black.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So now there's.
Oh, I see a big elephant sitting in the room here. I'm curious if anyone picks it this round.
So there's 2 games I'm eyeing here that nobody's picked, and it's kind of a safe pick, but that's kind of
safe picks win, man.
That's what we got to go for. I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy VIII, just because I feel like the Final Fantasies always rate well. And it's kind of hard to go wrong with a Final Fantasy.
Right, and
so.
no matter whether it's good or not, a ton of people are playing them because PS1s are like the reason.
Oh yeah.
Or Final Fantasy is like the reason a lot of people still play PS1 classics.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so I still got an albatross sitting here.
Okay,
All right.
I'm not gonna. By the way, FF8 was my next pick, so you finally got me back.
Okay, so this was one of the first PS1 games on the PS3.
Okay.
And it's a very loved classic RPG.
Okay.
And it's one of my favorites, so I'm going to pick it. It's Grandia.
Ooh.
Oh, that was going to be my next pick.
Dang.
Grandia, I like it. I like it.
I feel like that.
It's getting out of the water.
I feel like that's a great pick because it's a game that kind of was almost kind of like a cult classic game back on when PS1 was in its heyday, but it's a game that kind of got notoriety as the years went on for being a great RPG. So I feel like tons of people who never played it are going back and playing it and likely rating
only
it.
hope so.
So, oh man, that's a really good sneaky pick.
Damn, what the fuck?
So I'll
did I pick
recap.
next?
Yeah.
Pick last. So
Let's
this is
recap.
round 4. So Connor started off with Chrono Cross, great pick. We got Twisted Metal 2, another good one. You know what? I think this is going to be a one of those weird ones because I swear this got handed out for free or something.
Yeah.
And people, if it gets handed out for free, people are going to go back and rate it and stuff. So I feel like Twisted Metal could be like a super dark horse with a lot of ratings.
We also got to think about something. When did the rating thing come to exist?
I think it was right, wasn't it not? Well, that's true because it started on the PSP where you couldn't really rate stuff, right? So that's a good point.
Oh, guys, I'm having
Final Fantasy VIII for me, and then Nick with Grandia. I think that's a really good.
I kind of am having a little trouble with this round 5 business here.
See, this is where it gets real interesting.
Yeah.
It's like you're delving deep into your lineage of
oh man,
weird.
what do I do?
you need to think about.
Better keep your dirty mitts off.
He's got a pick already planned out. I can tell. See, there's one I want to pick, and I think it's well loved enough to be rate really highly on this scale. But man, I feel like I'm just picking with my emotions here.
Okay.
But I'm going with Xenogears.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
I feel like that's a huge cult classic. There's a huge subsection of people who say that that's the best RPG of all time, and I'm willing to bet all of those people have it on their PSN accounts. But the problem is, did they rate it?
Right. That's true.
That's the real killer.
That's true.
So that's my first pick where I'm kind of like, I don't know about that one.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Oh man, I got a really good one. I can't believe nobody said this yet. I can't believe nobody said this.
Now you're scaring me because there's one
me
in the
too.
same vein.
I don't think it's on this list, but I know it's on the PlayStation Store as a classic.
wait,
the game
Taylor.
I'm referring
Casey.
to is one in the same.
Casey, it's your pick.
No,
right
it's
now.
his pick. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking out loud here. But you go ahead.
No, that's
I'm
why
excited to
it's
hear it.
scaring me. So, as much as I want to pick that, I think first I have to pick one that I know, just in line with the ones that all of you have picked, is going to be high up there. But Final Fantasy Tactics needs to be on there.
I'm surprised that hasn't gone off yet. So
Well,
that's a good one.
I have a caveat to that. I mean, I guess not a caveat, but an explanation is that War of the Lions came out.
Yeah.
And it's like the beefed up version of Tactics. So
And
true.
that,
That's
and
done
because
now.
it's probably not as popular as the regular Final Fantasies.
That's
we
true.
love it.
I don't know.
a
It's
great-
a cult classic.
It is a
though.
cult classic.
It is
Sure.
a cult classic. So there's potential there, and like I mean, people like I have Final Fantasy Tactics on my account.
Oh yeah.
So
I have both of them.
if only we could look at the number of downloads instead of ratings. That
Yeah.
would be a little better. But you know, when you're making up activities like this, sometimes you
gotta
gotta
go
reach
with
a
what
little
you
bit.
have.
Yeah.
All right, are you guys ready for this?
No.
I don't know. Am I?
All right, for my pick, Silent Hill.
Oh no, dude!
Wow,
I don't know
I'm surprised
why.
that didn't cross my mind.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
was
one.
just like really thinking. I'm like, dude, how has nobody thought of Silent Hill yet?
Oh, man,
So,
I'm
yeah,
so
the original
mad at
Silent
you right
Hill.
now. I'm so mad at you. I don't want to be lame with my next pick.
Was that yours, Nick?
No, it wasn't.
Nick's just like beating his head against the wall.
There are two pretty obvious ones that I'm gonna pick if you guys don't.
There's an obvious
You're
one.
killing me with bringing these up, man. You're like, man, do I suck at this? Like, what am I doing?
Okay, so this is obvious.
Sometimes you gotta go with the obvious.
It is heralded as one of the greatest RPGs of all time.
Uh-huh.
It's on PS1, which is the best version.
Okay.
Chrono Trigger.
Dude,
Okay. Okay.
I was gonna pick that next round, but I didn't want to go Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger because I don't know. That's like almost kind of being lame. But no, you're right because that's one of those games where people like play it and tell their friends like you gotta go play Chrono Trigger, man. It's on the PlayStation Network.
Yeah.
But you know one thing that might hurt it?
Mm.
It's also on DS.
Yep.
It's also on a couple other platforms.
And
So
people typically say DS is like the system to play it on.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's like
'cause
if
the
you don't
DS
have
remake's
it,
great.
then-
That-
Yeah, I heard that too.
So
It's just because a lot of people love the game, think it's the best. It's high ratings, hopefully.
for sure. Well, I got my 6 rounder. Let's recap round number 5. We got Xenogears from me. We got one of the greatest RPGs of all time. I'm sorry, it's like in South Park when Cartman hears the beginning of "I'm sailing away," and he has to keep singing the entire song until it's over. When I say Xenogears, I have to go one of the greatest RPGs of all time.
Exactly.
And then we got Final Fantasy Tactics from Casey.
One of the greatest.
Timeless,
games of all time.
one of the greatest games of all time.
I mean,
It's on there. One of the
God.
greatest games of all time.
Oh, nerdy are we? Silent Hill from Taylor, the pick this round that we're all mad about, and Chrono Trigger from Nick. I mean,
One of the greatest RPGs of all time.
How
And,
many times could we possibly
and we
say
have
that?
Tomba 2, one of the greatest RPGs of all time. All right, well, on to round 6. We got 2 more picks each, so it's heating up. And you know what? Before we go to round 6, let me just recap what all 5 of our picks are so far.
Okay.
So for me, we have Final Fantasy 7.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. Resident Evil 2. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. My sleeper pick.
Oh, that was a good one.
And we got Chrono Cross, which is monstrous 4th round value, I have to say.
Yeah, totally. That's
and
great value.
Xenogears, that's my dark horse. And then we got Casey. You got Tomb Raider, classic. Legend of Mana, timeless PS1. Metal Slug, the arcade brought right into your living room.
that's right.
Twisted Metal number 2, the best vehicle combat game probably ever on PS1. And Final Fantasy Tactics, inarguable.
Mhm.
And Taylor, you read off yours there.
All right.
I
So
won't
for
take the
mine,
words out of
I've
your mouth.
got the game that really kicked off this series. I feel like in a big way. Metal Gear Solid Tactical Espionage Stealth or whatever it's called.
We got like 10 out of 10s in every
Oh, yeah.
gaming publication when it came out.
Oh yeah. The classic Crash Bandicoot. Legend of
Solid.
Dragoon, the RPG I wanted a sequel for forever.
Mhm.
coming.
Final Fantasy 8. I think that's a good value at round 4.
Absolutely.
Round 4, and then Silent Hill, the game everybody forgot about in this draft. I feel
yeah,
like
definitely. I don't know how that slipped down that far.
I don't either.
That's
And then-
definitely us being idiots.
And do you want me to read Nick's, or do you want to read?
No, Nick, here. I don't even know why I read Casey's. I should have given it to you.
All right, so I'm going with a ballpark pick.
Well, so no, just read what you have so
yeah,
far. Oh, okay.
Mega Man Legends,
Yeah.
which is out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy 9, I'm being a little safe there, trying to get
Gotta
some
get-
points.
gotta
Well, you
get
took a
points.
big risk in the first round, so
yeah,
you know.
so I had to be, the second best pick, I
Mhm.
think. Mega Man X4, because who doesn't love Mega Man?
One of the best
right?
platformers on PS1.
Mhm.
Exactly. Grandia,
Mm-hmm.
set 4th pick.
Cult classic.
Cult Classic was on the store the longest, I think.
I think you're right.
And then Chrono Trigger, which is
another cult classic.
another cult classic. These are all cult classics. With,
yeah, PS1 games are cult
yeah.
classics.
with a lot of people who just desperately love that game.
Okay, on to rounds 6 and 7. Okay, I feel like this is where the real damage is done,
Yeah.
because we may be neck and neck so far. I mean, maybe we're not, but you win in the late rounds.
Yep,
at least in
exactly.
fantasy sports.
Yep.
Oh, man.
So I am torn between 2, and I am honestly not sure. I'm going to have to flip a brain coin right now. I'm going to go... Ding! Heads. Okay, Resident Evil 3.
Okay.
Because this game is a game
Nemesis.
that, whether or not it was as popular as Resident Evil 2, which it was not, it benefits from the Resident Evil name.
Yeah.
And I think people who are going back through the PS1 classics trying to brush up on their Resident Evil are going to get Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and they're going to... I mean, hopefully they rate them. I guess that's always
yeah.
the catch with this. But, we can only do so much. So
Plus, who doesn't still get a chill down their spine when they think of stars?
yeah,
exactly. Yep.
Yeah, and Jill will run around in a tube top and skirt. So, anyways, moving on. We have Casey in round number 6. Do you want to peruse the lists, or
Actually,
do you have something in mind?
I do have something in mind this time. This could both benefit or be completely fucked by the fact that it is a more recent addition to the PlayStation Store, as far as I'm aware.
But hey, maybe more people will know it that way.
Yeah, maybe word of mouth has gotten around. I'm going to go with Suikoden 2 because it is one of my all-time favorites, and anyone who isn't playing that is just living a giant lie.
Yeah, dude, our file of that game, which you played most of, but it's legendary, dude. Like, that's one of the deepest. I mean, one thing about this pick, Casey, I have to say is I think there are two things about it. One, I think you're picking with your heart here. You're picking with your emotions, which is not a good thing. And two, I'm totally on board. I don't even care.
Well, here's the thing. They had, at press conferences, nobody announces PS1 classics, but they announced at PSX last year, they announced Suikoden 2 is coming to the store.
Oh,
So
no
for them
kidding.
to say it on stage, I feel like you never know.
That might give you a big boost.
You never
there.
know.
Because that's a zillion people in that auditorium that are thinking, oh, maybe it's time to bust that one out,
Exactly. Well, I feel like the Green Bay Packers in the late round when Aaron Rodgers just fell into their lap.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
that might be Suikoden 2.
No, I'm picking Resident Evil 1. Nobody picked Resident Evil 1.
Tom Brady in the 7th round.
Yeah, exactly.
Resident Evil 1 in the 6th round. No, I hear you, dude. It's the title that launched an iconic franchise. So
Yeah.
First
I mean,
Silent Hill,
there's
now
not
Resident Evil.
Yeah, I know. He's killing us on the survival horrors in these late rounds, man. I got to give you.
Yeah.
I got a little cocky after my first 4 rounds, and now you're kind of scaring me, bro. But
like you said, the value, man.
I know. Late round.
There's a
value.
couple of those that I'm still not. I really don't know about Silent Hill. I mean, it's a good pick, but I don't know. Again, with the ratings,
Right.
I just don't know.
Well, hey, that's what keeps it interesting, right?
Exactly.
That's what keeps it interesting. And so we go on to the last pick of the 6th round, which is Nick. What do you got?
I got one of the classics.
He looks nervous, ladies and gentlemen.
not
he's
nervous.
sweating. He's quaking in his boots.
So, Crash Bandicoot
Mm-hmm.
is my favorite.
Already picked in the 2nd round, as
But-
you know.
A lot of people's favorites
Uh-huh.
is Crash Bandicoot 2.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 3, man. 'Cause
2.
3, I thought 3 was my favorite. But hey, that's just me.
I just remember always going over to people's houses, and it was always Crash Bandicoot 2. Never 1, never 3. It was always 2. And I'm pretty sure that's a lot of people's favorites.
Okay. Well, I feel like a phenomenon kind of occurred here, where when a big game got picked in a franchise, the rest of us kind of walked away from that franchise. Like when I picked Resident Evil 2, I'm flabbergasted that Resident Evil 1 and 3 didn't get picked in the next round. It took until the 6th round for that to get picked.
Yeah, they fell, man. They just dropped
and
like a rock.
With Crash Bandicoot 2, like you said, when you pick Crash Bandicoot 1 in the 2nd round, Crash Bandicoot 2 could very well be more popular, and it's all the way in the 6th round. So we got some serious wild cards here.
Yep.
Okay, to recap the 6th round, we got Resident Evil 3 from me, feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil, Suikoden 2 from Casey. That is just a huge wild card right there.
Yeah.
And Resident Evil 1 from Taylor, not even a wild card, just a solid late round pick. Making me mad, dude. And Nick, we got Crash Bandicoot 2, which could also be first round value.
Totally.
In the 6th round. So I got to give you some props on that one. Okay. So
I feel like all the major franchises are totally off the board now. So now we're really gonna have.
You're wrong, baby.
I'm okay.
Yeah, just so you wait.
Okay.
I got a pick. I got an idea, and I'm hoping this plays off.
Me too. This is my wild card pick. That I have no idea if it's gonna work out, but I'm hoping it does.
Well, hey, in the last round, you gotta do your long shot. You know?
Exactly.
Unless you really
brain trust.
He's wearing the Abathur hat now. He gets shields and AOE damage. Okay, so I have my pick for the last round already picked. I'm just going to do a quick thumb through to see if anything jumps out that could be better, but I don't think there is. Oh, also, I did not mention at any point. This is just kind of housekeeping. I took the liberty of removing all of the Japanese imports.
Yeah,
just because
fine.
A, we haven't played them, and B, we don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
I mean, however popular they may be, they could be ragingly popular for all I know. But just so you know, those were off of our list. But anywho, oh, dude, I have my pick, but I don't know. Monster bass fishing sounds like a pretty good replacement pick, dude.
You never know. You never know.
No, like, what if that was like the top,
NFL 95?
Like,
I mean, the all-time classic.
it's like the top-rated
still
game.
playing it.
Just
Oh,
pick
man.
Disney games, man. Lilo and Stitch.
This one looks
Disney's
interesting.
Lilo and Stitch, greatest RPG of all time.
Disney's A
One of the
Bug's
greatest
Life.
RPGs of all time. Lilo and Stitch.
Man, okay.
The greatest ever.
So, guys, I'm about to throw that cliche at you one last time.
Okay.
Okay, so this game that I'm about to mention is one of the greatest RPGs of all time.
Okay.
But no, seriously, a lot of people say that. Personally, I mean, it's like a crazy statement to make about any game that doesn't start with an X.
Yeah.
But I think the popularity of this game, and it's held up really well over time, so I think that gives it a good shot at getting a lot of plays or ratings on the PlayStation Store. But I'm going to go Final Fantasy VI because it's a Super Nintendo port.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's why you got to look at the list there, big guy. Because a lot of people say that that's like one of the best games that was ever made on Super Nintendo / one of the best Final Fantasies, yada, yada, yada.
They always
I've
say,
beaten
they
it.
was like, Final Fantasy 6 is way better than 7.
Yeah, exactly, you know. But I think that game is one of those games that has a ton of people drinking the Kool-Aid. And again, people who are trying to get pumped up about the Final Fantasy VII Remake are probably going back through the library and playing some hot classics. So last round, I'm going FF6. All right, guys.
Oh, man.
Casey.
Our final picks, Casey.
There's a lot that are occurring to me now. The Ark the Lad franchise hasn't gotten brought up at all.
The thing is, there's the tricky thing with that one is there's 1, 2, and 3. So it's like throwing a dart at the dartboard. You know?
Which is why I'm going to completely eschew that route.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with one that I have actually seen on quite a few friends' PS3s. Perhaps it is just their taste, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that paying $5 to $10 for it as opposed to one of the more recent games is still something a lot of people would do. And I'll pick Tekken 2.
Okay, you know what? I had my eye on that. If we had 8 rounds, you might have just stolen that from me. So, and you know what? That's on my PS3 also. So
There you go.
That could be another dark horse. So in a similar vein to Casey, I'm also going to pick a classic fighting game.
Sweet.
That I remember playing a lot when I had a PlayStation.
Ooh, I think I got an idea.
Or not this ends up being a classic that a lot of people download now, I don't know. But I'm going to go with Street Fighter Alpha 2.
Ooh, man,
wow,
I had my eye on Street Fighter the whole time, but what kept me back is there's 3 Street Fighter Alphas, and I don't know which one is the best.
I think 2 was the most popular from what I remember.
Oh,
I could be wrong. But
I hate you for knowing that.
Surprised Street Fighter didn't get brought up earlier.
Yeah, definitely.
Now that we're mentioning
I'll wait till Nick goes and then I'll mention something. But since it's the last pick,
All right, so last
he's wearing
pick.
his thinking cap for the last pick. Better be damn good.
There is a game by Capcom.
okay.
It's a Resident Evil clone.
I should have picked this.
It is a very.
Motherfucker.
A lot of people like it.
Mhm.
Dino Crisis.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you were going a different direction.
I was thinking Parasite
I thought you were
Eve.
going Parasite Eve too.
Parasite Eve.
I thought you were going
I'm
Parasite Eve.
going Dino
man.
Crisis.
Dude, I thought Parasite Eve was a little too much of a deep cut.
Yeah, I mean, so did I. But
Dino,
Damn,
you
so
say
we
Dino
all thought
Crisis
of
2?
it, didn't say it.
Okay, Dino Crisis 1.
okay, so what I was
That's
gonna
still
say
brilliant.
is I think there's a classic for Marvel vs. Capcom on the PlayStation Store, and I feel like there isn't. Okay, well, good thing I didn't say anything.
Well, hey,
or good thing
guys,
I didn't pick it.
I'll tell you what. Now that we got our list, we'll go over them in a second. How about this? Let's go over an honorable mention. If we had an 8th pick, what would
Okay.
you have picked? And so I'm gonna thumb through for a little bit.
Man.
If you had an 8th pick, where would you
You know
go?
what I would pick.
So okay, I'm going through.
Yeah, cool borders. I mean, that's definitely like kind of hard to go wrong, especially like deep in the round. I mean, we played the crap out of that. You know,
dude, I played the hell out of cool borders. Yeah,
It was the coolest game.
yeah, it was awesome.
You
man.
still have that disc.
dude, I love this. The sequel that didn't make it to the presses, the lame borders.
Lame.
But anyways, that was terrible. So this is kind of weenie. I kind of feel bad about it. But for my honorable mention, I'm just gonna say Parasite Eve because that was one I had my eye on the whole time, and I just couldn't bring myself to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
because it's a big unknown. But watch, we're gonna go on there, and
It'll
it's
be
gonna
like-
be like number 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't on our list. I'm totally not even sure it's on the store.
Yeah.
But Spyro the Dragon.
It is not.
It's
Wait,
not.
is
It
it?
is.
Nobody picked it. Nobody picked
Spyro the
Spyro.
Dude,
Dragon
Spyro
1, 2,
was-
and
I didn't
3.
see it.
I
on
left
there.
Spyro off the list.
Oh, shit.
Dude, the
I have
list
it on-
I got from the internet like forgot Spyro.
Spyro
I
would have been a
I have it
sure
on that
thing.
PS3 right there. I have all 3.
My.
been
Okay,
Sure
well,
thing.
that's all right.
Okay,
there
well,
you
that
go.
we have to like put an asterisk next to
Fuck
this
guys.
this competition
Yeah.
now because Spyro wasn't on the list.
Oh,
One of the
man.
most iconic platformers in PlayStation
Yeah.
1.
Because I didn't see it
goodness.
on there, and I just didn't know, so I didn't want to like waste a pick and not have not get any points.
Well,
you know?
we're halfway done with our honorable mentions, and so far they could both be valuable than any of our other picks.
My honorable mention is going to go to Oddworld Abe's
that's
Exodus.
what
I had my
That's
eye
a good
on
one.
that. That's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
good.
I
So
still
you
play
did
that shit.
you did Exodus?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think Exodus is the better one.
Yeah, I think it's more popular too.
Harvest Moon Back to Nature.
Oh yeah,
What are
I
we
was-
doing?
Ah man,
We are terrible.
I
mean,
mean,
is there
these
something
are
wrong with that
honorable
list?
mentions and not our like first round
Yeah,
picks.
all these honorable mentions
Like
like
the,
their
the
most.
second I say the phrase honorable mentions, we all simultaneously have our best ideas after the competition's over. Clearly, we were not born to be winners.
I
but
was gonna.
either way, it's time to add up the scores, my friends.
All right.
We're gonna go over our picks one more time, and just for posterity, I'm just gonna reiterate how the scoring will be conducted.
Okay.
So each of our picks obviously has a raw number that is the number of ratings, and it's going to be as simple as this. We're going to add up the number of ratings for our 7 games and just rank them 1 to 4 on who wins here. And let me see if there's anything else I need to consider. No, that should do it. I mean, pretty simple scoring system. So
Let me just do a bunch of mentions that we totally forgot to do.
Okay.
okay, well,
All right.
Quick.
well, I
real-
mean,
This is,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is really quick. The Wild Arms series,
Oh yeah, Wild
Oh,
Arms.
wow.
Yeah.
classic, but I feel fine about not picking Wild Arms.
Vagrant Story.
Big
Also-
Story is amazing, but I doubt that many people.
That's
play
one
it,
of those deep cuts like
unfortunately.
Parasite Eve. I just don't know if enough
Right.
people knew
Like,
about it.
I feel like that's a really, really loved game. Like
Such a great
it took
game.
everything for me to like not pick with my
Ooh.
emotions here.
oh,
And
totally.
So like if
Breath
I
of
pick
Fire. I mean,
yeah,
Yeah.
Breath of Fire 4,
Yeah,
that's
totally.
that's on my PS3. Like
Wing Commander 4. I know a lot of people have not played that, but that's very popular.
okay, yeah, that one's kind of beyond me, so I can't speak to that.
Where are you?
I'm trying to think of like there were just so many big RPGs. I'm trying to remember any RPGs we're forgetting.
we forgot Medieval.
I have to say,
Medieval.
Tomb Raider 2.
Yeah, the
I
other two
think
Tomb
with
Raiders.
The
Yeah.
Lunar games on the PS Store.
No,
So
okay.
the remake is on PSP, but it's not a classic, which is
Yeah.
a shame.
Yeah, the shout out to the Lunar series, by the way.
Yeah, it's
Silver
my
Star
man,
Story
Ron
and Eternal Blue, dude.
Legacy of Kain.
Legacy of
that-
Kain,
see, I
Soul
have that on
Reaver?
my
I actually
PS3
thought
too.
about that one.
But
What
I
about
feel
the-
good with my picks. I
Yeah.
feel good with picking above that.
I think Suikoden won even because that you want to talk about a game that's been on the store forever. That game was on the store in 2010 when I was in Korea.
Oh, wow.
That was like one of the first games I downloaded on my PSP.
Wow.
So that's
I've had that on my PS3 for a while too.
yeah. So
That's going to be one of the intriguing factors. Is some of these games will have just been on the store longer, and so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But
we should definitely read off the ones that had the most ratings that we didn't pick.
definitely, definitely, yeah. Well, after we go and score these and come back, which will take the span of about 2 seconds for you, the listener. We'll definitely have some honorable mentions that we completely whiffed on. And judging by the fact that Spyro the Dragon was not on our list,
Yeah.
which is absurd.
Yeah.
There's kind of an asterisk next to like this entire competition,
Yeah.
so there's probably going to be a bunch of honorable mentions. But either way, I had a freaking blast doing this, you guys.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of
We're
fun.
gonna have a lot of funny discussions afterwards.
Yeah.
In the matter of seconds.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, no, Nick. Before you do that, I wanted to say one thing. We all put our hands in the middle and say, "May the best man win." Oh! And we return. Believe me, looking up all these scores, we laughed our asses off,
gosh.
man. We were so far off on so many of these.
So misguided,
Oh, man.
so naive.
Our taste is terrible.
Yeah.
No, our ability at judging ratings is terrible,
Yeah.
which makes me feel a little bit better. Well, actually, I feel great.
Well, 'cause yeah.
So,
How do we want to do this? Do we want
no.
to read just the final scores and then go over the crazy
yeah,
ones?
we'll go over individuals after.
Okay.
So, without further ado, the final scores in first place, your boy Connor with 88,473 reviews.
About a quarter of that is attributed to Final Fantasy.
Shh, we'll get to that after.
Oh
We'll get to that after. That's not important. Nobody likes a sore loser,
That's
Taylor.
important.
Nobody likes a sore loser. Plus, there's some statistical data to back up
That's
why it doesn't
true.
even matter.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
in second place, we have Taylor, the Honorable, with 59,252 reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Handily defeated.
Yes, but still, I handily defeated.
Okay, moving on.
I'll just stop talking.
And in third place, we have Nick Lind with 32,553. Oh, I forgot the hat of the victor. I must wear the Abathur hat to represent my dominance. For those of you who don't watch the YouTube channel, you will sorely miss out on how cool I look right now. Anywho, so yeah, Nick in third with 32,553, and wearing the frowny face hat. I'm sorry, Casey. It's 24,867. Now you must wear the hat of shame.
The hat
You must be.
of Supreme Grand Moff Tarkin.
Now you must be Dale the Chipmunk for the remainder of the segment. Womp, womp, womp. Okay, so some interesting statistics here. First and foremost, above all these, I'm taking this off, by the way. This thing is ridiculous. First and foremost,
I'll wear my
so
shame
you see
like
the-
a badge
the-
of honor.
Nick ended up with 32K and Casey ended up with 24K. My first pick, Final Fantasy VII, gave me 33,000. So my first pick beat Nick and Casey's entire 7 picks. I mean, that's just
terrible.
But of course, obviously, the dominance of Final Fantasy VII kind of almost like invalidates this whole thing.
Yeah.
So we took the liberty of re-adding the scores, taking out all Final Fantasy titles, and so I had 2 and everyone else had 1. So I ended up with 5 picks and everyone else had 6, and so the final scores without Final Fantasies, I still came in first, which is why I still get to wear the hat of dominance with 51,452. Second place, Taylor, close, 43K. And then we have Casey with 19K. And Nick transferring the frowny face hat to Nick.
Released
Nick-
from my bind.
Yeah, released from the bondage of Dale the Chipmunk. Nick in last place without Final Fantasies with 16,000. And so, I mean, being the unrepentant braggart that I am, I have to say that even with 5 picks and you guys all had 6, I still won.
Yeah.
So you guys can't even rub it in my face like Final Fantasy VII won it for me because I still bossed on you guys.
You still did.
And so the reason that happened is because in round 6 with Resident Evil 3, I put up a 15,000 with that.
Yeah, that was nuts. I looked it up. That's more than Resident Evil 1.
Exactly. It's crazy, man.
And
Okay.
Resident
It's
Evil 2.
absurd.
So now that we've determined the winners and losers here, let's just go over some of the most notable surprises that we saw here. Either games that we thought were going to do great and didn't, or games that we didn't think would do great and did, which there weren't many of those, but let's go over some of the more hilarious picks that fell face first. In first place, in the pantheon,
worst pick of the draft.
in the pantheon of crappy picks, Nick's first round pick is the worst pick in the draft. Out of all the games, the one he picked number 1 is the worst out of all of them. Mega Man Legends in round 1 with 504 reviews. There was only two picks on this list that only made triple digits. It was Mega Man Legends with 504, and Casey in round 3 with Metal Slug, which had 973, which actually came as a big surprise to me.
I thought I had that much.
I defended that pick, so that's surprising.
Yeah.
Let's get another. Let's see if there's any others. Another
Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah, Tomb Raider won in the first round. Also, fell rather flat with Casey. Only got 1,011, just barely tickling quadruple
I
digits.
couldn't believe that. That was really low in my opinion.
I mean, I thought it was a stretch for first round, but 1,000 reviews on that. That's or 1,000 points. Let's say came as a big surprise to me. Let's do a couple that did a little better than I thought they would. Legend of Dragoon, Taylor, in round 3, 7,000 reviews. I mean, I was kind of questioning that pick.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it obscure, but at the same time, I don't know a lot of people who play it. So that surprised me.
Let alone review it, but
what also surprised me is FFT.
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics only put up a measly 5,000, which I mean, all the other Final Fantasy 9 got 16,000, Final Fantasy 8 got 16,000, and Final Fantasy 7 got 33,000. Final Fantasy 6 got 15. Or wait, never mind. Final Fantasy 6 got 3,000. But either way, so yeah, Tactics got a third of all the other Final Fantasies, which I think was, like I mentioned, because War of the Lions came out, and that's such a great remake that I feel like a lot of people just bought that.
Sure.
But
gotta give it to him.
I thought another one that was a little surprising was that Resident Evil handedly beat out Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, that was very strange. I mean, I almost it looks insane now, but I almost picked Metal Gear Solid above Final Fantasy 7. But I mean, clearly that was the right choice.
What was Metal Gear Solid?
Metal Gear Solid put up 11,643. Just for reference, some other games that put up similar numbers are Castlevania with 9,000.
That was a great pick.
Yeah, Resident Evil 1 with 9,000. And so, I don't know. I thought MGS would rise above, though. I thought it would at least put up 20,000 points or so. But
so for reference, Resident Evil 2 was 18,000, almost double Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
Which is crazy. But okay,
Resident Evil 3.
So let's go over. I'll name off some of these picks that fell flat. The ones that I really wasn't expecting to fall flat. Crash Bandicoot 1 only put up 6,500.
Yeah,
which I thought that was like a big game. You know,
I thought because here's the thing. I kind of keep a track. They have the top download classics of the month, and Crash Bandicoot's regularly up there. So I'm like, okay, maybe Crash Bandicoot might get higher, but it wasn't. I mean, it was almost half of Metal Gear Solid. That was a little surprising.
And this might even be the biggest surprise to me in this draft. Casey went with Tekken 2 in the 7th round, which I lauded at the time. It was a marvelous 7th round pick for value.
Yeah,
it only came with 1669. Tekken 2, one of the probably the most played fighting game on PS1. That's probably not true, but
it's
a really popular one.
Felt like it at the time. Huh?
Oh, definitely.
Also, Taylor, when you picked Silent Hill in round 5, I was kicking myself, but it only put up 6781.
Which is Crash Bandicoot.
Which is, I mean, 6781 is a lot, but I thought it was going to be one of the biggest ones.
I thought it was going to be up there with Resident Evil, but
let's see. Any other notables on here? Mega Man X4 actually fell really flat, too, because I thought it was like a really important canon Mega Man game. It was only 1,200.
I think most of my picks fell flat.
Yeah, yeah, Nick, you bit the dust a couple times here.
Tell them what Spyro got there, because we ended up looking that up.
Our honorable mention. So the ones that we couldn't believe we forgot ended up not even being that impactful. Spyro... a middling 5,500. I thought we were going to be looking at 10K plus on Spyro.
For sure.
And Harvest Moon, too. I thought that was going to be like a 10K easy. It was 1,868. I can't believe Harvest Moon didn't get more love.
Gex.
Oh yeah, Nick,
just for the hell of it.
Nick was kicking around a Gex pick apparently while we were drafting, and that would have eclipsed his horrible Mega Man Legends pick with the whopping 314.
That
classic.
is why I did not pick it.
The amount of people who played that game ever,
and that is why, that is why Nick has to wear the Dale the Chipmunk hat like an asshole.
Like
and also. I thought this might be the case, but it was actually kind of surprised to see it actually be the case. Is Crash Bandicoot 3 outscoring all other Crash Bandicoots? Yeah. I thought that 2 would eclipse it, but Crash Bandicoot 2 came in with 5,000, and Crash Bandicoot 3 came in with 6.1. So interesting stuff there.
For sure.
Oh, and Parasite Eve. This was one that we were right when we brought this up. We were all going, "Oh, wow, no one picked Parasite Eve," but it grows pretty well as far as reviews. 4,261 points.
Yeah,
but
would have been a good swap out for a couple of those.
Yeah. Either way, I think the real takeaway from all these lists is that I am just magnificently better than all of you in every way.
I think I learned something today.
Yeah, I learned something today. I'm superior.
He was the one who thought of this idea. He already knew.
It was all ruse.
And the conspiracy theories start a-flowing.
Forgot to initiate the no Final Fantasy VII rule.
Nick, your new nickname is Hurt Cobain because you can just not take the beating that you just were handed.
It hurts.
Anyway, guys, this obviously is really, really wacky exercise. I had a freaking blast.
Yeah, that was really
this.
fun.
As did I.
We're gonna have to find other things that we can draft so that I could prove my dominance to you in a multitude of arenas.
Or do just like a little bet kind of thing at the end of each episode.
But anyways, I'm done gloating like a total bastard. This was really fun.
Honestly, one of my favorite episodes. Probably that was a ton of fun.
Yeah, that was a blast.
We don't know
So
how it's going
happy
to
to have
sound
been
in the
a part of it.
podcast form, but it was
Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. We enjoyed it, so
It was
hopefully
really
you guys
fun.
did.
Definitely. Okay, how about just to close it out? Let's all pick our favorite picks.
Can we
So
just all hold hands in prayer instead?
Yeah, could we sing Kumbaya a couple times just to bury the competitive vibes here? No, I think we should all just let's all pick our favorite pick, not just because going by how many it grossed, but just by where you picked it, whether it surprised you or not. Like, what do you think was your finest pick? And so I'll hand these around here. And I mean, obviously, Final Fantasy VII with the number one overall pick with 33,000 points. That's obviously should be my favorite pick, but I'm gonna have to go with my round 6 because in 6th round, you're looking for value anywhere you can get it. And I took Resident Evil 3. Walked away with 15,000 on that one.
Dude, well, we were talking about, before we cut, it was everybody picked one game in a franchise and then we just stopped picking them.
Right, we just took it off the board in our brains or something.
I was just like, I should just be an asshole. Just do Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 9.
Right.
Evil.
Just go in order.
Just do all that.
Yeah, it doesn't
and
pay off.
It would have paid off. But
well, hey, we already see
I wanted
that.
to go with my heart, and that's a horrible thing to do.
Yeah.
But my favorite pick was definitely Mega Man Legends. Because that surprised the hell out
Nick
of me.
doubles down on the worst pick in the draft and says he would have done it again if he had the chance.
I was expecting it to be a lot
know what,
bigger
Nick?
than that.
I respect that, buddy. You know why? Not just because it's ballsy, but because Mega Man Legends deserves more than 500 points.
Yeah, it definitely does.
That was definitely that pick. Just stepped on a landmine, blew both its
Totally.
arms and legs off.
Speaking of
My
deserves,
Yeah, Casey, I'm gonna. What do you think was your best draft pick, or your
Well,
favorite draft pick?
my
Let's go with
favorite draft pick would actually have been Xenogears because it needed to be said and because I was delighted to see that it got just over 5,000 points.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
a lot better
almost.
than a lot of the ones that I picked, and I would have assumed that it was much more obscure than, say, Twisted Metal 2.
Right,
Yeah.
that was my one pick out of 7 where I drafted with my heart for sure. But it paid off a little bit with the cult
Yeah.
classic angle. But so that was my pick though. Do you have a pick of yours that was particularly good? I mean, you had FFT was your highest grossing with 5,200. But I mean,
Honestly, that was probably the one that I was banking the hardest on.
yeah, 5th round
Yeah.
too.
But I do kind of like the fact that Tomb Raider just took a giant dump on my face like that. There's
so
You and
so
me
I
both.
take like my best value
Exactly.
pick, and you guys both just doubled down on the picks that destroyed you. I have nothing but the utmost respect for that, and I love both of you. Taylor, if you had to pick your favorite pick, what did you go with?
It definitely
You had some really good ones in there. I got to
I-
give you some credit.
I think the one that was not the most obvious, I wasn't sure if it was going to get a lot of points, but it ended up working out, was Silent Hill in round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was one of my better picks. Kind of looking at this list. And
I totally have to agree.
And a lot of I think I was actually surprised it was as high up as it was.
Yeah.
To be totally honest, I was like, well, I think that's a good sleeper pick, but I don't know if it's going to have a lot of reviews, and it did. So that's definitely my favorite because I was like, oh man, what a great one for that late.
Yeah, it's great for in the 5th round you put up a 6.8 and pick a game that honestly I think had potential to get a lot more.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
feel like
definitely.
even though that pick didn't amp up to your expectations, I think it was marvelously executed.
You know what we forgot to look up? Armored Core.
Is that on there?
And it's on the Armored Core 1
man.
and the Phantasma.
Wait. You know how we feel about giant fighting robots, Nick.
I know.
If you're not down with big robots with lasers and missiles and machine guns, then get the hell out of here. Unsubscribe. No.
Only one's left. Everyone else unsubscribed.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, that concludes the PlayStation 1 Popularity Draft. And so far, the big takeaway is that Final Fantasy VII is really freaking popular.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's news to everybody who plays video games.
So you can all say you learned something by listening to us tonight.
I'm actually curious because I mean, it seems crazy now, but I was thinking about taking Metal Gear Solid in the first round over FF7, but I wonder if I even would have been in it if I did.
Considered that the first round too.
Yeah, because MGS was still a good 12K, but
So
either way,
what we could take from this is that Final Fantasy series most popular on PS1.
Yeah, by far.
And after Resident Evil.
yeah, absolutely.
And Castlevania killed though. That was a pretty good one as well.
Yeah, a quick 10,000. It's hard to pull a 10,000 on a non big time multi franchise game. I mean, I know there's multiple Castlevanias, but still, it's not considered
multiple great ones.
Yeah.
right. And for a lot of people, it doesn't jump out as one of the first cornerstone franchises in
Right.
PlayStation. So
I want to play that game now.
yeah, Castlevania. Shout out Symphony of the Night, dude.
Yeah,
What a
yeah,
game!
great game.
You beat the game, which is a total feat in itself, and then you go through the entire game with the entire castle backwards, upside down.
Imagine designing that game, but you have to design it for it to work both ways. That's just nuts.
Awesome. Anywho, this has been your friends here at the LHG Cast. This is a really fun episode. We didn't have much news this week since we covered PSX last week. Check out that episode, by the way. Love that episode. And thanks for listening to the PS1 Popularity Draft because it was a good time. And from your hosts, with much love, it's been the LHG Cast. In order of awesomeness, it is based on this list that I'm looking at. Your hosts, Connor, Taylor, Nick, and Casey. Well, that's obviously up to debate, considering whether you count Final Fantasies or not. But regardless, thank you very much, and we will catch you soon.
Catch you next year with our Game of the Years.
Woohoo! See ya. Oh my gosh.
That was really fun.
That was...